Welcome to the GoalZero Toolbox Talk series. Today's Toolbox Talk: Lithium battery safety. Lithium-ion batteries are commonly used and can be found in power tools, cell phones, laptops, tablets, cameras, and other devices. Note: this guidance is not intended for lithium-ion batteries used in vehicles. Lithium-ion batteries contain one or more cells that are electrically connected and contain a positive and negative electrode, a separator, and an electrolyte solution. Rechargeable lithium-ion batteries are generally safe, but like any energy storage device, they can also pose health and safety risks. When these batteries are not used, stored, installed, disposed of, or charged properly, they can overheat, leak, burst, or cause a fire or explosion. Improper use of batteries can also increase the risk of electrical shock.
Batteries can be damaged by physical impact, e.g., dropped, crushed, punctured, improper charging, e.g., not following manufacturer's instructions, and exposure to certain temperatures, e.g., high temperatures and below freezing, which can increase the risk of an adverse event.
Battery charging can be hazardous, and it is important to identify potential hazards, assess the risks, and have controls in place to protect workers. Workplaces should always make sure that procedures and practices for battery charging are developed based on the manufacturer's instructions and recommendations. Requirements from occupational health and safety legislation, building codes, electrical codes, and fire codes must also be followed. The hazards and risks associated with battery charging will depend on the type of battery, how it needs to be charged and maintained, and the area where it is being charged, among other factors.
Always make sure the charging stations and devices have a Canadian certification mark, e.g., CSA, COL, CETL, indicating it meet Canadian electrical safety standards. Jurisdictions may specify which certification marks are acceptable.
Thermal runaway is often considered the greatest hazard related to lithium-ion batteries. When these batteries are defective, damaged, or not operated safely, overheating in the cells can occur, resulting in a chemical reaction. During normal operation and charging, small amounts of heat are generated but are safely dissipated. During thermal runaway, the temperature within the battery cell is greater than what can be dispersed, and the excess heat initiates a chemical chain reaction, resulting in an uncontrollable self-heating state of the cells.
The damage from a thermal runaway may result in leakage of the electrolyte and the release of byproducts, e.g., carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and hydrocarbons. The battery may also burst or cause a fire or explosion. The main hazards of thermal runaway are the release of corrosive, flammable, and toxic liquids and gases. Released liquids and gases can cause skin or eye burns or damage, are harmful if inhaled, and can cause other health effects. Fire or explosion is caused by the intense heat and the flammable liquids and gases from the battery. To minimize the risk of a lithium-ion battery overheating and catching fire or exploding while charging, you should follow the manufacturer's instructions for proper charging. Only use the manufacturer-approved charging device, e.g., some manufacturer-approved chargers cycle power when charging to avoid overcharging, and others may not. Make sure the charging device has a recognized Canadian certification mark, e.g., CSA, COL, CETL. Do not use uncertified chargers as they can pose a risk of electrical shock, fire and explosion. Charge the battery when it is at room temperature and do not attempt to charge batteries in below freezing temperatures, unless permitted by the manufacturer.
Do not charge batteries on a soft surface, as this can cause heat to be trapped around the battery. Do not exceed the recommended charging time, as most batteries have built-in protection to prevent overcharging, but for defective or low-quality batteries or a mismatched charger, extra time can result in the battery exploding or catching fire. Do not charge damaged or defective batteries. Charge in areas that are well ventilated, and where there's access to fire extinguishers, emergency eyewash stations or showers, and other equipment that may be needed.